What's on the wrist?
Gruber Force double Valencia and titanium, and 6265 from the late 70s.
So what's the story, behind either of these pieces or both?
I mean, like, my taste is kind of like that. I have inspiration from all different things all throughout my life. And it's also about stories. I wear the Gruber because not many people have seen one in real life. And I wear the Daytona because it's like very historical, it's an iconic watch. And for me, this era of Daytona with the plastic glass and this smaller size, it really resonates to me.
So how did you get into watches?
My dad had a newsagent in London, like a confectionery and a newsagent. So I was working there since I was like 8 years old. And back then there's no social media, Instagram, none of this stuff. This was in like the mid 80s, early 90s. So I would read newspapers every day, and we had magazines, and there'll be some magazines that had watches in them. And so I kind of started from that. So I used to read the Loot, and I used to read about, you can buy it. And there was a section about watches. So I used to find it really interesting just to read it, And then after university, I read an article about a really interesting vintage watch that sold for a lot of money in Christie's or something like this. It kind of sparked my imagination again. And I just started learning about it. And I was buying like a lot of reference books from Japan. These are pre-internet days. And then slowly, just that manifested. That was the origin story.
What's your favorite piece in your collection at the moment?
Don't really have one particular favorite. I appreciate different things from different brands. I love AP, Patek, Vacheron for different models. I can't say there's a brand where I love every single piece. I love Richard Mille. I have a 3503. I have a 6702, which is fantastic also. I love vintage Rolex, particularly the 70s era, like the 1680s, 1675, 6265, 6263, like this kind of era of smaller case plastic glass. It has a lot of character for me. Even like the day dates, like 1803, 1804. And then into independent brands. I love independent brands. I think they really push the envelope on what they're doing. Even the newer guys, Crivia, Simon Brett, Beneron, and other like smaller houses as well that are doing really cool stuff.